Welcome back to the garage, where we do not just kick tires, we run nitromethane and chase alpha until sunrise. It is Nitro night, and I have the whole crew with me. I am John, your head mechanic, and right over there is Christian, who says he is listening, but he is actually tapping away on his phone hunting for a rare Pokemon drop while still calling the levels as sharp as any Wall Street sniper. And Lulu, she turned in her chart reports early and bolted to the barn for a mud bath. She says nothing calms a TA queen like a little spa time with the cows after a wild session. Let's crank the ignition on this macro engine. Jerome Powell has the Fed idling in park, waiting to see if the new tariff mix will flood the block or just clog up the intake. Rates are locked at the top of the gear range, and everyone's watching the July CPI dash. One unexpected print and this whole convoy could be sideways in the ground. Trump's new tariffs are potholes you never see until you are airborne. Nike slammed into a $1 billion bump, and every manufacturer is double-checking lug nuts, hoping to keep the wheels on straight. Oil just spun, a donut crude inventories dropped, WTI is up to 65, and energy names are getting their tires warm again. OPEC Plus is the next pit stop, could be the move that sends this whole sector drifting sideways again. Swing over to the equity drag strip. The usual supercars are out front, but the story is under the frame. General Mills and Nike punched in good numbers, but if you crawl underneath, you will see margin pressure and tariffs grinding down the brake pads. Nike crosses the finish line, but there is a blown gasket in next year's forecast. Utilities and financials are the turbo sleepers. AI data centers are juicing electric demand, and the market is in full defensive overdrive. And when Vanguard posts $4 billion in ETF outflows, that is your signal to check your mirrors twice. If the big money's on the brakes, you better be ready to downshift. AI pit lane, it is your time. Nvidia went neutral after warning about new export controls tightening the restrictor plate on chip sales. China's DeepSeek is gaining ground, but US hardware is still pole-sitting. Google just rolled out a robot model that runs Locarno Cloud, no lag, just pure torque. There is even a new power semiconductor from Silicon Valley that is the first big breakthrough in half a century. That is a supercharger for every EV and server on the grid. Now it is time to drop the clutch in crypto. Bitcoin inventory on exchanges is down to the last set of Slicksless, then 10% left on the lot. Whales just yanked 25,000 coins to cold storage, and ETF inflows are hoovering up the rest. BlackRock's IBIT is leading the pack with 19 straight days of inflows and about to hit 50 billion managed. If we pop a wheelie over the old all-time high, there is just not enough supply left for everyone. This is a market with the throttle zip-tied wide open. Ethereum's float is shrinking too. 1/3 is locked in DeFi or staked. Old wallets are taking profits every time we hit a clean stretch above 2,400. Until the next DeFi ignition or ETF rush, ETH is idling at the line. Solana and the meme coin trenches are supercharged with nitrous. Jupiter Dex just broke $1 trillion in volume, and whales moved $400 million in SOL, likely tuning up for the next garage run. Solaxi is king tonight, up 76%, all meme horsepower and utility. BTC Bull is a pre-sale rocket, but careful with the tire sift, the road turns slick. You do not want to be the last one into the pits. The Trump meme coin? That car lost all 4 wheels, insiders bailing, whales dumping, now it is waiting for a tow truck. Protocols are getting their tune-up. Ethereum's Dencun upgrade is dropping gas costs and boosting throughput, so the garage can now handle more DeFi hot rods and NFT customs at once. Bitcoin's Taproot gives it privacy, smart contracts, and the kind of trunk muscle you want when the real race starts. More tools, faster laps, more mechanics signing up every day. Now, here is your legal speed trap. XRP just hit the guardrail. Judge Torres denied Ripple in the SEC's handshake deal. The full penalty stands. The injunction stays locked. Appeals are sitting in the pits until August. Price spun out to 213. Retail traders can still take XRP out for a spin, but the big institutions are fenced out for now. The legal fog is not clearing, so expect this car to stay in the garage or get tossed around in the corners for a while. The screens are hot, so let's break down the tape with some TA. BTC is cruising above 107,000 with support at 106.9 and resistance near 107.5. If you see a push and close above 107.5 with real volume, that is your green flag for a run at 108.2. The cleanest pit entries are retest of 107 with a tight stop, and if you get the reset, do not be the last to gun it out of the pit lane. If BTC loses traction below 106.9, next stop is 106.5. Do not chase-let the lead car show you its taillights first. Ethereum is purring at 2,446. The key support is 2,420, and the turbo kicks in above 2,460. If ETH gets that clean overtake and closes above 2,460, you can aim for 2,475. The safe entry is a dip to 2,445, and your exit is at the first sign of exhaust popping over 2,470. Never floor it until you see a clear lane. Solana is holding at 141. Bulls are defending above 137. If you get the pop above 144 with real horsepower, target 148 on the next leg. Catch the bounce near 139 and keep your stop below 137. In this car, you wait for the turbo to spool before you drop a gear. ADA is out there grinding the rookie laps trying to stick 55. Resistance is at 56.5 and 57.2. If ADA gets traction above 56, you ride the slipstream to 57. Best entry is on a dip near 55.5 with a stop under 54.8. If the tires lose grip, be the first one back in the pits. Remember, Christian is still over here sniping rare Pokemon and yelling out the next resistance level between spins, and Lulu TA queenered in her numbers early and is already in the barn, mud bathing and dreaming up tomorrow's chart setups with the cows. When she comes back, you know she'll have another edge for the garage crew. Final playbook for the next 2 days. Bitcoin is running on fumes at the exchanges, and any surge could gap price straight into the stratosphere. Ethereum is revving up, but watch out for the old wallets bailing at high speed. Meme coins are a demolition derby. Solixy's got the keys, but every pit stop could be your last. XRP is in the penalty box, so trade the volatility, but never bet the farm on a settlement finish. Last lap of the night, this market is not for Sunday drivers. If you want to win, keep your hands at 10 and 2, your stops tight, and your engine tuned for chaos. The rest can worry about potholes. We are the ones lighting up the night and leaving sparks on every corner. That is Nitro Night at Guru Crypto Garage. Christian is chasing Pokemon, Lulu's in the barn, and the engines are still warm. See you in the pits for the next race. When the road gets crazy, the real traders build bigger engines. Garage out.